Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're well. Today I've got everybody's favorite thing, a flanker of a clone, or as I like to call them, a clanker. That does not have a good ring to it. And the fragrance that I'm talking about, of course, is a flanker, a new flanker of this little hype beast right here, Nitro Red from Dumont Paris. The new one is called Nitro Red Intensely, taking a little page out of the Stronger With You playbook, because Nitro Red Intense would just be too simple.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
So as I said, this is a new one from Dumont Paris. I have it linked in the description in case you want to check it out. It is available at theperfumebox.com. That's pretty much the only place that you can scoop this up right now, at least that I'm aware of. And it's gonna run you $45 US, unless you use a code. I got a code. So you can use that to save yourself a little bit more money off of the price, but if you don't use a code, it will be 45 bucks as of right now. So Nitro Red, what's the deal with this one? Like I said, the original one, big hype beast. A lot of love, a lot of talk has been made about this one right here. If you want to dumb it down, really simplify it, kind of smells similar to taking something like Rasasi Hawass, Paco Invictus, Invictus Aqua, that kind of style, that scent profile, and mixing it with a little touch of BR540. So that's not an exact science or anything, that's not exactly how it smells, but that's gonna get you most of the way there. So if you haven't smelled this one ever, that's gonna give you a decent idea of how it comes across. Now the original Nitro Red, really cheap, so that helps, you know, you don't have to spend very much. Nice. Extremely versatile, also helps. Big compliment puller, also helps. And so that's what has kind of driven this one to pick up steam over time. It's kind of like a, I don't know, a fragrance that got grassroots hype. It didn't come out and immediately like blow up or anything, but as time went on and people got a hold of it, they talked about it more and more and more until it became something that even other clone houses were cloning. And that's how you know you've made a good clone. When the other clone houses clone your stuff, you did pretty good. But that brings us to this one, Nitro Red Intensely, which kind of came out of nowhere. This isn't one that was getting talked about months in advance. It wasn't one of those ones that got announced way ahead of time. It basically just popped up for pre-order on the Perfume Box's website, and there it was, which, you know, fair enough. Fair play to you, Dumont Paris. Is it made in the UAE? Surely it is. Oh, it's made in France. It's legit, guys. That has no bearing on anything. Who cares? But the question here is Nitro Red Intensely actually better than Nitro Red, and how does it differ in what ways? So that's what we're gonna try to tackle here today. Let's go ahead and kick it off by taking a look at this presentation, and there is a massive upgrade in the presentation, which you can't readily tell here, but when we get to it, you'll know. The box. On the front, you've got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size and concentration. It is an extrait de parfum. It is 100 ml size. And not for nothing, the original Nitro Red, pretty strong. Good performance there. You know, lasts a long time, projects heavily, and the Intensely, you know, possibly ratcheting things up even more. We'll get to that. You got the little Dumont logo up on top of the box. On the back, you've got your sticker of authenticity. You have your ingredient information as well. And on the bottom, your badge code and your barcode. And here is the bottle. And at first blush, it looks just about the same. Not a huge difference between the two. The original Nitro Red has white stitching. Nitro Red Intensely has black stitching. The little dangly bit that says Nitro is kind of like a suede type of leatherette on the original Nitro Red, whereas on Intensely, it is more like a standard leatherette. Is that a thing? Standard leatherette? Yeah. So yeah, it looks about the same other than the glass. The glass has like a reflective coating to it on Intensely, whereas it's fully see-through on the original. You have a sticker on the bottom, and it also says Dumont on the bottom of the glass as well, which was not on my original, the original version, I should say. But the big difference, the cap. Now, Nitro Red has never maybe been the most expensive looking fragrance when you take a look at that bottle, and the cap didn't even click into place on the original one here. So I guess technically, you know, it could pop off pretty easily if you were trying to lift it up by the cap kind of quickly. But this new version, a magnet. That's right, Dumont has given us a magnetic cap. Not the strongest magnetic cap in the world, but it does definitely have a decent amount of heft to it. And you can lift the bottle by the cap, but I wouldn't do it very strongly or quickly. That being said, Dumont Paris has entered the magnetic cap realm. And for me, being a pathetic sucker for magnetic caps, I love it. All right, let's go ahead and do a couple sprays. Here we go. Nice. And also let's go ahead and do a couple sprays on the skin as well. Now let's go ahead and spray this one on also. There we go. Woo, pretty good atomizers. Now, one thing that Nitro Red Intensely does do, and it's probably not a huge surprise if you're familiar with the original, is it leaves a bit of an oil slick wherever you spray the fragrance. That takes a little while to dissipate. So you saw just now a couple sprays, and you can see there how it looks. The original Nitro Red, quite strong. This one being an extrait de parfum intensely version of Nitro Red. Yeah, pretty strong, and wherever you spray it, you'll see, just like the original one. You can probably see that from there, right? So this is all fine and dandy, but how does it smell? How does it compare to the original Nitro Red, and is it worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of the original? Well, they are quite different, and it's noticeable as soon as you spray the new one on, especially if you're doing it side by side. But it does still have similarities to the original Nitro Red as well. So it's not like this is something completely removed that smells nothing like the OG or anything like that. So in the opening, Nitro Red Intensely is much more of a sweet, fruity scent. One of the big differences is off the top, Nitro Red Intensely introduces peach into the fold. So the official notes off the top in Nitro Red Intensely include apple, peach, bergamot, and watermelon. And as I said, comes across much more of a fruity, sweet open, whereas Nitro Red, the original, is more of like a almost fuzzy, sweet, bubblegummy open. When I say fuzzy, it lingers in Nitro Red. If you've smelled it before, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's like this fuzzy, fresh, clean, also bubblegummy sweet aspect that opens the fragrance up with lavender in there, along with watermelon, apple, bergamot, talking about the original, and it lingers, it carries on for quite a while. You don't really get that aspect, for me at all, in Intensely. So Intensely does come across a bit deeper overall, richer, maybe not quite as fresh the way that Nitro Red hits, a little more on the sweet side, but not as I said before, bubblegummy and how the sweetness hits. As it dries down, Nitro Red Intensely also kicks off more of a woody vibe. So you do have that lingering fruity sweetness for quite a while. It's just as it goes down, as it dries down rather, you get more of the woody aspects that come out. And there are a number of different woody notes in the fragrance. There's sandalwood, amberwood, cedar, and patchouli as well. That being said, it's not just all fruits and woods, although those are probably the most important parts. You do get some of that sea salty freshness in Nitro Red Intensely, specifically as it heads through the beginning part of the mid, but it doesn't slap you in the face quite the same way as that aspect does in Nitro Red. So for me, Nitro Red Intensely works very well, actually. It takes that Nitro Red DNA, keeps a good amount of it intact, but then delivers you a different fragrance that you're gonna use probably for different occasions. The fresher of the two is the original. The more youthful of the two, probably still the original. That being said, pretty much anybody I feel like can wear Red Intensely. It's just, as I mentioned a couple times before, that that aspect that a lot of people will think of as like a more youthful aspect of the scent, the bubblegum fresh, kind of sea salty, fuzzy vibe that you get in Nitro Red, that comes across much more strongly, much more in your face, whereas this one is, as I said before, a bit deeper, richer, sweeter with the fruity aspect, and then has more of this nicely developing woodiness as the fragrance dries down, mingled with a little bit of sea salty freshness and actually a floral touch as well that's really kind of in the background that just helps give a little more depth to the scent. So yeah, if you're looking for the fresher, more youthful one, it's gonna be this one. That being said, wearing these side by side, I actually kind of lean more toward the new version. And that could be because I have smelled this one a good amount. I've smelled, like I said, clones of this one as well. So it's one that I'm a little more familiar with. And that could be just something where it's like, well, this is new, so I gravitate towards wanting to smell this more. But I think just overall, it's a little bit more my style, this one. And they made the cap have a magnet. That's always worth 1 point. And I'm also glad they didn't just take Nitro Red and make it stronger and call it Intensely, because frankly, Nitro Red doesn't need to be stronger. I think it's good where it's at. And if they had done that, it would have just been, I don't know, what's the word for it? Vomit inducing. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's talk really quickly about the performance, since we kind of danced around that subject a little bit. Nitro Red Intensely is strong. I know, go figure. A Nitro Red Intense that isn't extrait to parfum is strong. Yeah, but it is. The staying power is there. The projection is there. That being said, off the top, if you go spray for spray, let's say you do, 6 sprays of this, 6 sprays of this, which I don't know you want to do that at the same time, but let's just say you do. Then initially, at least for me, off the top, this one feels like it has a little more push. And it's just kind of because, like I said, it smacks you in the face a little bit. It's got that really strong initial push to it. This one also quite good, but it does come across a little bit more well-rounded, a little bit smoother, slightly deeper overall. So this one is kind of giving you like a wider spectrum of scent when you smell it. This one is a little more concentrated and kind of hits you a little bit stronger. Not a very good analogy, but almost like, I don't know, something the width of this table, right? You take that and kind of bop somebody on the back, oh, they'll feel it, but there's a good amount there. It's kind of dispersed more, right? Whereas if you have that amount of volume, but it's in a baseball bat and you hit somebody with it, you're gonna feel it a little bit more. And that's almost how this one opens, right? It kind of hits you right off the bat. This one hits you, you feel it, but it's not quite as aggressive, if that makes any sense. And also off a tester strip, this smells absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. Does that matter? It does not, but it smells great. In terms of seasons, this one does have great versatility, but I would say that for more people, this is probably gonna be slightly more versatile overall, talking about the original. The intense version, for me, I would say probably would fall like spring, fall, best seasons, and then winter, and then middle of summer. But it does have enough freshness that if you really want to, you can wear it during the summer, but I probably would not go really heavy with the sprays. Think about the people around you, but you could wear it. It's not something that's like, a tobacco, leather, super ambery scent profile. It's, again, more leaning into the fruits as far as the sweetness, and then woods as it dries down. So you could pull it off during summer. Just, again, think about where you're going, what you're doing, wear it some beforehand so you know how it works off your skin. Adjust your sprays as necessary and you should be good to go. And as far as daytime, evening use, either one, doesn't matter. Which really that goes for pretty much every fragrance. I mean, if you love the way it makes you smell, wear it, bro. Don't matter what season it is, just adjust your sprays. So Nitro Red Intensely, 45 bucks. All things considered, not a crazy price. If you use a code, it's even less. Because it is extrait to parfum concentration, it does, to me, smell higher quality than the original Nitro Red, just as far as the overall ingredients, how they hit. Actually, I would say decently, noticeably higher quality. Just because of that sort of staticky fuzziness that you have in the original Nitro Red, that's pretty much scrubbed out of this one, or at least the vast majority of it. And on the whole, 45 bucks, the performance, the potential compliment factor, it does smell extremely appealing. I gotta say, I have to reiterate, like I said before, if I were gonna keep just one of these right now, it'd be this one. Red Intensely smells pretty good. And if you're a huge fan of this one, but you were maybe worried that the intense version is gonna be too redundant, basically do the exact same thing, smell the same way, only somehow ramped up even more, thankfully that did not happen. So there it is, Dumont Nitro Red Intensely. If you can see my hands, they are still quite shiny. They will be like this for probably the next 30 minutes. So I guess that's another thing to be aware of. If you have like a white shirt or something, or maybe just a shirt in general, be careful with your sprays. Don't spray them too close, so you could stain your stuff up. I guess that's common sense, goes for fragrances in general, but it's worth repeating when you have something like this. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.